The cold finally won. You should come. I was going to, but then I ended up talking to OB. I got stopped a few times.
And I hate to admit I just need you. Close your eyes. Do you think when you're younger, won't you rest your mind? Smell that northern thunder. So close your eyes. I bet you see those memories. The way this light blackens all the things you used to be. Close your eyes. Think when you're hungry, rest your mind and smell that northern thunder. Won't you close your eyes?
Very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. We welcome you to a brand new season of Ashland Arrows baseball. We're joining you live and free from Plank Field here at the Archer Arrows Park. David Wilson along with Chris Mowry. Today we have the Ashland Arrows in OCC action against the Madison Rams. Tonight's game also brought to you by Hedstrom Entertainment, having unplugged fun for over 100 years. And we welcome you to the very first Countdown to First Pitch, brought to you by Simonson Construction Services, serving Ashland and North Central Ohio for over 50 years. Chris, good afternoon. What a beautiful day we have. We'll check our game day weather in just a few minutes, but what a turnaround from all the soggy stuff yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. It's a nice day for a ball game. I woke up this morning and I said, I'm not so sure we're going to play, but we got lucky, Mother Nature. The sun popped out, and I think that wind, David, helped dry this baseball field out. You wouldn't know we got the weather that we did overnight, and that's a testament to everything that's happened here improvement-wise at Bud Plank Field, Archer Arrows Park. It's fantastic, and feels like we were just inside Arrow Arena for basketball, but here we are, baseball. The spring has sprung, if you will, and we're getting ready to welcome the 2026 campaign here for the Ashland Arrows baseball squad, and I couldn't be more excited to be joining you once again and getting ready for a maiden voyage for head coach A.J. Beer as he takes the reins for the squad.
Very exciting time for the program. Now, they came off a win on Saturday. In fact, both of these teams are 1-0, and so it's very early, but that's our first check of the OCC standings. It's brought to you by Whitaker Myers, providing solutions for your insurance benefits and wealth management needs since 1869, with offices in Ashland and Worcester. Both teams 1-0. Ashland defeated Tiffin Columbian 8-7 on Saturday, while Madison knocked off Ontario on the road. That was Monday, 6-0. So both teams off to a good start, but early in the season. And of course, Worcester is the defending champs, and we'll be seeing them come through a little later on. But anybody's league right now, and AJ has high hopes.
Yeah, he has high hopes. I talked to him quite a bit about this season, and assistant coach Coach Drew as well. And, yeah, I mean, look, every season you start out 0-0. The Arrows are fortunate to be 1-0 as they get ready to get into the campaign here. But, yeah, it's going to come down to pitching, like it always does, right? It doesn't matter what baseball you're talking about. If you can pitch the ball, you've got a chance. And then after pitching, you got to play good, clean defense. And those, I think, are going to be the two big cogs for the success or the lack thereof for the Arrows this spring.
Well, it's time to listen in for our national anthem. It's presented by Chandler Systems, Inc., locally owned and operated right here in Ashland for over 40 years. All right, our national anthem just ahead of the season opener between the Ashland Arrows and the Mansfield-Madison Rams. We're glad you're with us. We'll be here for all of the home schedule as we work our way through this 2026 season. We'll go through the starting lineups as we get a chance, as we watch the Arrows take the field in their home whites. Our upcoming first pitch is brought to you by Bo Lacey Construction, handling your roofing, siding, decking, bath remodel, and window replacement needs. Experience you can trust, done right, on time. Talk a little bit about the starter, Evan DeHinden, momentarily. He's a junior, but Chris, let's quickly check that injury report The Arrows missing at least one key cog, but overall a pretty healthy ball club.
Yeah, pretty healthy ball club. But look, the reality of this is very simple. You lost your starting third baseman and a guy that was going to hit in the middle of your lineup and your horse and your ace, and that's Miles Farnsworth, the junior. He's got an elbow, and so he's going to be shelved for the campaign this year, and that's a really, 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 really big detriment and something that these guys are going to have to overcome. Clearly, that's something that head coach A.J. Beer and staff were not anticipating, but that's the cards they were dealt, and that just happened here within the last week or so. And then two other guys, you'll remember from football, you watch some of the highlights. Jeff Hickey was a really, really good DB. He was an exceptional football player, but he had a wonderful sophomore campaign here last year at Bud Plank Field, Arch Arrows Park. He actually knocked one over the fence, which is a pretty rare feat. We'll talk about that today, too. There may be one ball that gets launched here. The wind's blowing out pretty good. And then lastly is A.J. Workman, who's signed to play at Lake Erie College, a first baseman. He was going to, hit in the middle of the order as well, and he's out for the season. He's got a labrum, and he's getting ready for his college campaign, but unfortunately he's going to miss the season as well.
Injury report brought to you as always by Fickus Furniture. No need for the big box stores. Fickus Furniture has your needs covered. Well, Evan DeHenden on the hill. He is a junior. Last year pitched in 4 games, made 2 starts. He was 0-1. He did see action on Saturday and got the save in that ball game. 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs. He struck out 3, but hit 3 batters. It got a little interesting in the end of that game, Chris, but DeHenden got the final out on a big K of Cale Lawrence of the Columbian Tornadoes, and all was well with that 8-7 victory.
Yeah, the Arrows started off, get bats of fire. They were up 6-1 through 2 innings and then held on just enough to get the victory there at Ashland University. That game was supposed to be in Tiflin, moved to Ashland because of weather, and a de facto home game here. So de facto home opener on the campus of Ashland High School today for the Arrows.
We are off and running, starting just a couple of minutes early. Second pitch of the ball game popped up and caught out there by Haig at shortstop, and that's the way today's game begins. 75 beautiful degrees here, mostly cloudy right now. As we get into this ball game, our game day weather is brought to you by Truly Inspired Paper Company. For all your paper needs, from wedding invites to business cards and everything in between, Truly Inspired Paper Company in Ashland and Loudonville. DeHenden, the right-hander, retired Ashton Taylor, the senior second baseman, on the pop-up. So 1 down here in the top of the first inning. And the batter now, Owen Morrow. Ground ball, that'll sneak into center field. First hit of the ball game belongs to Mr. Morrow. He's also a senior. 1 out, 1 on. And Liam Stone will step to the plate. He's the number 3 hitter and the pitcher today for the Madison Rams.
David, you said 75 degrees. Let's not forget, it's blowing 16 mile an hour out to dead center field, too. So you get one launched here, in the confines here. There's a chance it could challenge the track, the fence, and maybe even escape the ballpark. We shall see. But it's blowing out dead center. Therefore, it is blowing out as well to right and left field. So home run ball could be a factor.
It could also play some real adventures for some of these outfielders. And we already had a pop-up on the infield that was handled. First pitch outside to Liam Stone, another senior. After Stone, it'll be Julian Washington in left. Then Cohen Brandt will DH. He's hitting for Carson Cook, the third baseman. Aiden Proctor will hit 6th and play first. 1-0 pitch coming from DeHenden. Runner takes off and it's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Proctor at first. Then it'll be Kyler Stiegel hitting 7th. He'll play shortstop. Grady Spurlock in right, and rounding out the lineup, Landon Parsons. He'll do the catching for the Rams. They are coached by Jason Stone in his first year. He's a Madison alum, former player.
Liam Stone must have found a mud puddle there when he was getting to the yard. He's got some backwater marks there up the back of those white trousers.
Already got him dirty. He'll crowd the plate a little bit here. Ball and a strike. Runner stays put, low and away from DeHenden. 2 balls and a strike. Bill Rosenbaum is our home plate umpire. Kirby Kaiser is doing the job of 3 men out on the bases.
Nothing gets by me, David. Well done.
And field shortens up a little bit here. Good time for a double play. Top of the first, no score, just underway in the home season. just a little bit high. Starting lineups are brought to you by Bill Harris Dealerships with locations in Ashland and Loudonville. From Chevrolet to Ford to Dodge to Jeep, quality pre-owned vehicles as well. That's Bill Harris Dealerships, your one-stop shop.
Not a very good sequence there from the junior right-hander to Hendon. You know, he walks him on 5 pitches. The ball with only a strike was the one fouled out of play towards $7 Creek. And really, 3 of the 4 balls there were not close. And, you know, a 3-hitter you want to be, you know, careful with. But, look, it's high school. You want to challenge guys. You want to get outs. You want to make them put the baseball in play. If you get a strikeout, that's great. But, you know, DeHenden going to have to bear down here. 1 out, base runners at first and second base. And DeHenden going to have to throw a strike here. Let the ball get put in play, son.
He spikes that one. Nice stop behind the plate by Tanner Wolf. We'll check the rest of that Ashland defense. Carter Nelson at third. Ethan Haig at short. Jake Bryant at second. Carson Little over at first base. It'll be Liam Hubacher in left field. Jake Stewart out in center field. That one over for a strike. Had some good break to it. Noah Merrill in right. So we mentioned Wolf catching and DeHenden pitching. Jay Beers talking about how DeHenden was a little slowed up last year with a back fracture. Another curveball is high. I believe that makes it 2-1.
2-1 now, back-to-back breaking pitches, David. I'm challenging the plate here. It's going to be just a 4-seamer, and there he got bailed out with that up and in fastball to make it 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes, so here we are. DeHenden in a bit of a developing jam. First inning, no score. Beautiful day here in Ashland, Ohio. Swing and a miss. He went after the high stuff there. Might have done DeHenden a favor. He'll certainly take it. 2 outs here in the first. Again, he fanned 3 in 2 innings on Saturday. And here's Cohen Brandt, the sophomore designated hitter.
You know, David, I always play arithmetic with strikeouts a pitcher. Strikeouts, less walks, less HBP, and we better end in a positive number there when it comes to that.
Always a good formula. Especially high school baseball, Chris. You got to limit walks.
Yes, and HBPs. HBPs are walks in my book.
That one on the outside corner.
I think it was his best pitch he had today right there, David. That one had a nice bite to it down and across the outer part of the plate, and a good job by Tanner Wolf squeezing that one.
Jason Stone, the head coach, is coaching down at third base. Another swing and another miss on a high heater from Evan DeHenden. Jake Bryant started on Saturday, worked 3 innings in that opening day start, 4 hits and 2 runs. Ground ball pounded to third, knocked down by Nelson, recovers and throws him out. That retires the side. Rams get a couple of men on, no runs on 1 hit, no errors. They left 2. We're off and running here in the home opener at Ashland High School. It's the Rams nothing, and the Arrows coming to bat.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
Let's go! All right, welcome back, my friends. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. Liam Stone getting the start. He is a right-hander. Stone, a senior. He batted in the first inning and walked, but he'll take the mound now and face a lineup for the Arrows that looks like this. Tanner Wolf will lead off and catch. Ethan Haig at shortstop. Brayton Stewart in center field. Cleanup batter and right fielder is Noah Merrill. Trent Summers will DH. Carson Little at first. Liam Hubacher will bat 7th and play left. Carter Nelson at third, and Jake Bryant will round out the lineup And bat ninth in place, second base. No score. Good job by DeHinden getting out of the inning with the ground ball, stranding a couple of runners. That wind really is picking up now, Chris.
Yeah, it sure is. It's blowing out to dead center here. Tanner Wolf's going to come up to the plate lead off for the Arrows today. And Tanner Wolf had 2 hits on Saturday at AU, and one of them was a double. He absolutely hit a nuke down to the right field line. Stand-up double and does the catching here for the Arrows. So, you know, and a senior that's been playing since his sophomore year, and they've got high hopes that Tanner's going to have a really breakout campaign here this year, and hits out to the left side of the box, David. He can really pick him up, put him down in a hurry, and when he gets on, he's dangerous to take bags as well.
2 left-handed hitters in the Ashland, or on the Ashland varsity roster, and they hit back-to-back at the top of the order. Wolf is one of them. Wolf had 2 hits on Saturday, drove in a couple of runs. One of the hits was a double. Wave and a miss on an off-speed pitch, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Wolf can also play a little bit of left field in a pinch, but he will be the primary catcher for A.J. Beer. Both teams 1-0. There's a strike call. And you know one thing, Chris, about the turnaround in the weather, you just don't want to end up with a lot of postponements, and that's, you know, you have to roll with the punches, but they really stack up if you miss a number of games early in the year.
And if that's the case and you have to start playing league games back-to-back, here's a base hit into center field, and that's down, and Wolf's going to make a big turn around first base. We're going to be held up there at first. But if they start stacked up and you play league games on Monday, Tuesday, and then you don't have a choice because the school year's getting close to being done, you got to play a game on Wednesday, Thursday, another against a conference opponent. That's what could happen in this conference this year because of the weather. You're already set behind, and it's going to come down to depth as well. So who knows what that'll look like? We shall see. But nonetheless, Arrows off and running here. Tanner Wolf at first base after a leadoff single, and that'll bring in the shortstop, Haig.
He's a sophomore. Throw goes over to first base. Tanner Wolf is back. Haig, the sophomore left-handed hitter. We played in 1 varsity game last year. And in his debut game of the season on Saturday, was 0 for 2, but did have a sac bunt and a walk. Got on base a couple of times in that 8-7 victory. Nobody out, 1 man on for the Arrows. Another throw over, chasing Wolf back. Coming to you live all season long from the Priest Dental broadcast booth, your hometown dental leader. Proud AHS alum Kevin Priest and his team will handle all of your dental needs. And lays down a perfect bunt. The ball dropped over at first base. Aiden Proctor unable to hang on to that one. Ethan Haig will still get a sack out of that. Then they will likely have an error charge to the first baseman, Aiden Proctor. So a big break for the Arrows. Wolf now at second base. And the batter is Brayton Stewart.
Well, they call it a sacrifice for a reason, David. You're sacrificing yourself for the betterment of the team, and sometimes that turns out to be a gift, and that's what happened for the Arrows. So now you couldn't ask for a better situation. Runners second, third base, or 3-hole hitter Stewart up, and he puts it down to 3-hole hitter. I absolutely love this call. Well done, Coach Beer, and the Arrows now with 1 out, runners at second and third.
Well, Stewart executing that perfectly, and they do get the play that time. It goes 1-3. Runners at second and third, as Chris mentioned. Here's the cleanup batter, Noah Merrill. Base hit by Wolf, back-to-back sacrifice bunts, but when you mix in the error, it adds up to a big threat for the Arrows. Merrill, hitless Saturday, was 0 for 2, had a walk and was also hit by a pitch.
You know, last year, David, this kid, Merrill, was kind of an unsung kid. Nobody really knew about him. He came up for head coach Rick Goff and just started hitting lasers in the gaps. And, you know, I don't know about you, but I was taught hit line drives in the gaps, and you're going to have a job for a long time. That's exactly what happened with Merrill. He hit about 480 last year and didn't start playing until about 3 weeks into the season on the varsity level. Was tearing it up at JV and said, hey, let's give the kid a spot, start, see what's happening. He knocks out 3 hits and then 2 hits the next game, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in the lineup. So they're expecting big things from the junior Merrill.
Chops one foul at third. He had 1 homer, 19 runs batted in last year. RBI situation here, bottom of the first. Carson Cook at third. Kyler Stiegel at shortstop, Ashton Taylor at second, Aiden Proctor over at first, Julian Washington in left, Owen Morrow in center, and Grady Spurlock is in right. The catcher is Landon Parsons. You saw him go out and chat it up with Liam Stone, who's like DeHenden in a little bit of a jam here in the first inning.
Yeah, this is a legitimate jam. 1 out, runners at second and third. You got the cleanup hitter at the plate. The only good thing for the Rams in this situation, it is an 0-2 count, so your pitch arsenal is available.
They set up outside. Merrill does not chase.
Set up halfway to Hayesville there in that pitch, David.
Ball and 2 strikes now to Noah Merrill. Trent Summers on deck. Merrill also developing as a pitching option for A.J. Beer. Primary offensive position in right. Breaking ball. It's fouled back out of play. It'll stay 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Merrill got a little hitchy thing going on in that swing now. You know, I just want to see him kind of go straight back and then level at the baseball. Throw the bat head at it and just try to hit a liner somewhere. You know, hitting a big ball is really fun. It's really cool, but base hits are what keep your job. You know, just put the ball in play. You got a runner at third base. Basically, any ground ball, you're going to score him unless it goes to the pitcher. So just do your job. You're down 2 strikes. Put the ball in play.
Outside here evens it up at 2-2, and especially in high school baseball,
Yes.
Chris, you want to force them to make a play.
Well, you want to force them to make a play, but head coach A.J. Beers called a great game thus far. He gets a laser there for a single. He gets a sack bunt that he's trying to give up on, get a runner at second to try to do what, David? Get a lead. He wants to get his pitcher to Hendon a lead early in the contest. The game changes dramatically when you play with a lead ahead. And there it is right there, Merrill with a liner down the right side, extra bases.
That's headed to the right field corner. That will score 2 easily. Merrill digging for second. He'll go in there. Standing up with a 2-base hit, the Arrows take a lead of 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Merrill with his first 2 RBIs of the season. So he picks up right where he left off in 2025.
You know, they say it might be late on that one, but heck, there's nobody playing down the right field line. Don't matter. That's a 2-run double there. So the first couple RBIs of the season for Merrill. Well done here. It's still only 1 out, David, a runner in scoring position. The 5-hole hitter, Trent Summers, comes up. Again, what are we going to talk about all season long? I don't know about you, but I know what I'm going to, and that's get the baseball in play. You said it. It's absolutely spot on. You got to score some runs. And, you know, the only thing I used to say when I used to have responsibility for teams, the only thing I can't defend is a walk.
Yeah,
Right?
You're exactly right.
I can't defend that. Put the ball in play, make somebody make a play, field it, pick it up, throw it across the diamond, get you out.
That was a good piece of hitting by Merrill. 2 men have crossed the plate. And Trent Summers batting. Trent, another guy who saw some varsity action last year. He had 239 with 16 runs batted in. Starting his senior season out. Looks at it a little bit low. 2 balls and no strikes. He had a nice day on Saturday, Chris. He had a sac fly, a 2-run triple. 1 for 2 officially. He also walked. Pretty productive day in that 8-7 victory. These teams are scheduled to play each other tomorrow over in Madison. This one's socked up the middle. That's a base hit. Let's see if they wave Merrill around. The ball bounces away from Morrow out in center field, so he'll pick it up and throw it back in. An RBI single for Trent Summers. Merrill races around, and it's 3-0 Ashland here in the bottom of the first. Possibly the hardest hit ball of the inning so far. That was a rocket right back through the middle. Time called here, and Liam Stone will get a breather as his head coach, Jason Stone, comes to the mound. Little, the scheduled hitter for the Arrows. Well, Chris, we've been talking all inning about keys to the game, keys to success. They're brought to you by your hometown vision leader, Ashland Eye Care. Proud AHS alum Dan Denbo will handle all of your vision needs. Great to be working with all of our great sponsors here on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network.
Yeah, for sure. We thank them, all the people here in the community, and we ask all of our viewers and listeners out there, go visit those businesses and tell them thanks. We really appreciate that if you will do that. And they know that you know, their dollars are going to good work, and they're supporting all these youngsters here at Ashland High School. And, you know, I think baseball, David, unlike the basketball games we called and talked about, baseball can kind of, the keys of the game can kind of change pitch to pitch.
They sure can.
Literally batter to batter. better, and I think, again, I kind of teed it up. I think the reality is for this squad this season, they're going to have to pitch the baseball and they're going to have to field the baseball and get outs and not give these dreaded 5 and 6 out innings to the opponent. I don't care what level of baseball it is. Man, you start doing that and the wheels just come off.
3-0. Ashland, swing and a miss here by Carson Little, the junior first baseman.
And frankly, David, we've seen that this inning, right? We had a sack on the second hole, trying to get the guy from first to second. We had a sack that was an actual sacrifice, was out at second or first base there for the first out with Stewart. And then we have a bullet, and all of a sudden the Rams are behind 3-0.
Very good start here for the Arrows. Ball high to Carson Little. Little was busy on Saturday. Pitched 2 innings, gave up 3 runs on 2 hits, walked 4. Again, that was a very windy and breezy, cold day, a tough day to pitch. With the bat, Carson Little.
I had the Lands End boots on, David, the 700 Thinsulate.
Carson was 0 for 4 at the plate on Saturday. Well, PA announcer Randy Thomas and we roughed it in the booth on Saturday, Chris. So
I roughed it
I'll
down.
take your word for it that it was cold.
It was. I roughed it down there with Coach Obrecht. He was filling my ears full of knowledge down there on the left field line area. I was holding up the fence down there and kind of incognito.
Ball 2 strikes here to Carson Little. Liam Hubacker on deck. Arrows on top early. Windy day here in Ashland, but sunny and warm. This one outside.
It snowed yesterday.
Yeah, it was. What a turnaround.
I saw yesterday somebody posted, if you went from the lake, right, in Sandusky or Cleveland, whatever, and you went down to the river, there was a 40-degree swing in Ohio yesterday. At the same time on the clock, like if you did it at like 3:30 or whatever, it was 30-some degrees in Cleveland and 74 or whatever down in Cincinnati.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
But we prefer what we have today.
I'll take it. We got heaters up here. We're going to turn those babies on probably at some point this year. Might have to get at the board budget, get a little air conditioning in here if it keeps this up.
Throw goes over to first. The runner there is Trent Summers.
Speaking of board budget, game day guest presented by Wickham and Hess. The top of the second, we always have, is going to be AHS head principal Josh Packard will be joining us here momentarily.
Looking forward to that. Swinging a foul, just got a piece of that. Everybody else after Wolf and Haig are hitting from the right side. Liam Stone, he's looking for a break here. Maybe he could get a strikeout or a ground ball here. Might just take a little of the pressure off. He deals it in there, and there is that strikeout on a curveball. So Little goes down. That's out number 2. Strikeouts this year brought to you by Sid Suds in Ashland. Soft power washing with super heated water. 2 down, runner at first. Here's Hubacher, sophomore. Going to start in left field today. Had a hit on Saturday. Also walked twice.
Played a good left field in that wind. That was a challenge out there.
Takes a strike at the knees. 1 strike to Hubacher.
Really nice football player, Liam Hubacher. He played weak side linebacker for the Arrows and Scott Valentine, and had a really, really nice campaign this past season.
Strong arm, quick feet, according to A.J. Beer, one of the best athletes on the team.
Yeah, he sure is.
Wind really picking up, blowing out to center field. This one hit in the air on the infield, straight up the chute. This will be Stiegel to make the catch, and that retires the side. But a good inning for the Arrows in the bottom of the first. They scored 3 times. They do it on 3, make it 2 hits. There was an error, and 1 man was left on base after 1 full inning of play. In the home opener, it's Ashland 3 and Madison nothing.
Ashland isn't just where we work. It's our home. From glorious country to Main Street parades, we're proud to be part of what makes this town special. At Bill Harris Dealerships, being a key member of the community is one of our core values. But it's more than that. It's a responsibility. Because without Ashland, without you, we wouldn't be here. So stay golden, Ashland. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust.
Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
On we go to the second inning, 3-0 Ashland. So Evan DeHinden with a little bit of a cushion to work with here in his first start of the 2026 season. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for the Madison Rams. Aiden Proctor will lead things off. All of our inning sponsors brought to you by Comfort Control, providing the best comfort for residential and commercial customers for more than 40 years. That's Comfort Control. We are ready to welcome in our game day guest as we get the second inning going. Fastball high. Aiden Proctor at the plate. Kyler Stiegel on deck. And Josh Packard with us right here in the booth. Welcome, Josh.
Thank you, sir. It's always an honor to be up here with you guys.
Yeah, Josh is the head principal of the high school here at Ashland, and Josh does a great job. And I try to get Josh on every time we do these seasons, David. I thoroughly enjoy the conversation, and I think, Josh, what I try to do and what I have tried to do is let the administrators and the management of the district, that's what I call it anyways.
Yeah.
You guys call it administration.
Yeah.
I call it management, right? That's what it is. You're responsible for 400 kids plus, right?
Yep.
And, use this time to talk about positives and things you want to change or implement or whatever it might be. And we've got a list of things to get in here too. But, first thing, man, the school year, I can't believe it, is winding down quickly. I just told David it feels like we were in Arrow Arena just last week calling a basketball game, but here we are with baseball season.
Boy, it sure does. Those snow days made the winter go real quick. And now we're coming back from spring break, and we're kind of staring down the big events, prom and graduation, and the end of the year. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. It went quick this year.
So graduation is close. You mentioned that. Talk about the class of 26. I know it's another special one for me.
Boy, it is.
Yeah.
It really is. You have some personal interest in that.
I do have some personal interest.
I'll tell you what, they are a great bunch of kids, and their maturity is, I think, what I want to talk about the most.
Yeah.
Like, I could say a lot about the athletes in the class and the academics, but overall, just the maturity and the thought that these kids show every single day, the leadership they bring to the building every single day has been tremendous from the class of 26. That's from our group. You can see it in our athletes. You can see it in our leadership and our mentors of that group. But, when you ask them about their plans, like what are they doing next year, you can tell they've thought this through and they've thought this out. They all have great plans. Some of them going on to college, some of them entering trades right away. But they're all well thought out and well planned, and that just, again, speaks to the maturity of this particular senior class, I think.
So when you have, let's say in-service days, right? And I'm not an educator, but I can only think common sense about it. Do you, when you gather your staff and your teachers and whatnot, say, hey, let's look at this as an example, and maybe it's this class that's doing this, or this group of kids, or, hey, the class of 26 is, I think, the best one that's come through in the last 5 years. What are the key traits that they did, or what can we pinpoint to say, hey, let's start teaching that to our kids? Or is that something that's a reality?
So that's a great question, Chris. One of the things that we noticed after COVID was that our kids were really struggling with opportunities for leadership, right? And so we really intentionally every year look for ways that we can give them leadership opportunities. We actually have a committee at the high school. It's our PBIS committee, Positive Behavior Intervention Supports. It's a long name, but basically we sit down and try to design some things for our kids to give them opportunities. Our club and activity advisors try to give our kids opportunities, like Lizzie Condit and Kristen Duncan and our community service club. They do a great job with the toy drive in the fall, with some other things that they do for the community, and it really gives our kids a chance to see how they can work together for the greater good, and I think that impacts them across their whole life.
And then how, on the flip side, you're doing that with adults to kids, but is there a way that you can then pour into the kids and, like, serve up and say, what worked for you, Mason, or I'll just use my
Yeah,
own kid as
yeah.
an example, right? Like, what was the positive thing, and maybe we can highlight that and expand on that, or is that a
Yeah.
thing where you talk to the kids about, some of them you trust, or leadership kids
Yeah.
or whatever, and look at it, getting some honest feedback?
Absolutely. We try to do that every year because honestly, this is year 28 for me, so I'm about as unhip as you can possibly get.
It's two of us.
So I need their input, or I'm gonna drive off in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So we do that in a couple different ways. Like we'll ask those leadership groups that we were talking about for their input. Jason does that with Arrow Inner Circle, and we actually do a whole survey with the entire student body at the end of the year. That
All grades?
All grades.
Oh, nice.
That gets their input on what did you like, what did you not like. If you were going to tell a friend about what's the best thing about Ashland High School, what would that be? Give us some advice on what we need to do improve on going forward too.
It'd probably be the broadcasters. It'd be one of the best things,
we
right?
We have the best broadcast team anywhere. I'm telling you what, I listen to you guys' voices for therapy when I need calm down at night.
Man, is Tara out there, Josh? You're giving me some serious compliments. I mean, we need her to hear all these things. So what's new at the high school?
We know what I think the thing that I'm most excited about this spring is something I feel like I've told you before, but our greenhouses, right,
Yeah.
which are a big deal for our Ag and FFA program. We got on the track to renovate them last summer, and they got torn down and put back up. But we've kind of been waiting on the right weather to get the concrete poured and kind of finish those out. And the Career Center just came over and poured the concrete about a week ago. And so I'm really excited that we're going to get those up and running here with the kids working in them again soon. We won't have a plant sale this spring, but we'll get them all ready and going for next year. And that's a big part of it. That's another entry point where our kids get to interact with the community when they're growing plants and selling things in the spring. So I'm excited to get that back up and running. And honestly, they look great. So
you see, David, you get a kid from Hillsdale and a kid from West Holmes, and you start talking about growing things and plants and fertilizer, and that is like second nature.
Absolutely.
Language to us. So,
absolutely.
There's going to have to be some livestock in that.
We can get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there. Yeah.
We can talk about swine and
Sure,
all kinds of
course.
things. At Hillsdale, it's probably the only, I guarantee it's the only school in the county that had a swine barn. Literally a big, huge thing that said swine barn on it before they built the Taj Mahal down there, and now there's a rocket into right field. That's a 2-out single by the 9-hole hitter Parsons here doing the catching today. So first and second with 2 outs. So Josh, I always ask you this, and sometimes you do and sometimes you don't, but I give you so much forewarning. I'm sure there's a list of people. Some shout outs to students, some shout outs to staff, some shout outs to grounds crew or whatever that has really made a mark here recently.
Yeah. I think our staff members, the thing I want to recognize about them is we've got 5 staff members retiring this year. Yeah,
Jeez.
and they're people who have made a huge impact on Ashland High School as a whole. 2 of our math teachers, Mike S. Vanek and Kate Long, are going to retire. Rich Wasowski, who's part of a number of different things at Ashland High School, but I think we're going to talk Rich into maybe coming back for some of his supplemental duties, but teaching-wise, he's going to retire. Been phenomenal for his time here. Martha Bickley, who's one of our world language teachers, has been a Spanish teacher for us. And Abby Hoffman is going to retire, but I think she's going to be on the rehire slate here as well. But just 5 people who have been absolutely phenomenal in their time at Ashland. Another shout out I've got that's maybe near and dear to your heart, because I think we talked about this last year with retirements. We had 2 new folks doing our mentoring and leadership program this year, Benita Gauss and Emily Ritter. And they have been phenomenal in picking up where our 2 other mentor teachers left off and leading the kids through that. So I think our mentor program is in good hands. It's going to continue to grow. And then finally, I'm going to give a shout out to our music department, who's probably driving through West Virginia, Southern Ohio right now.
Southern Ohio.
With our band and choir and orchestra kids bringing them back from Disney. They've had a heck of a week, and big shout out to them for keeping everything positive and good for our kids.
So the bus broke down.
The bus broke down. Yeah, I know.
I texted Mason and I said, "Are you on the broken down bus?" She says she doesn't know anything about cars.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Yeah, it's just a hose." And I said, "You have no idea what you're talking about."
Nah.
She said, "Oh no, 15 minutes. The hose is going to be connected. Fill it with water. We're going." I said, Oh my gosh, who did you hear that from? So she was stuck in Beckley, West Virginia at an Exxon station, and she was on that bus. But what you were alluding to with the music squad, and there's our first ball, Josh. You're a good luck charm. $7 donation right from the board budget out of Paramore's checkbook, right in the creek, David.
Yep.
That's $7 creek. You'll hear that a lot this year. But unfortunately, we had some vandals
Well, we
and
did.
some theft. Down there in the band, instruments were stolen, and pretty unfortunate situation.
Yeah, the very first night they were down there, the band trailer was broken into, and it was secured pretty well with some locks. So these guys, whoever they were, came prepared. But we had 16 kids who had instruments stolen, and that's really difficult because some of those were personal instruments with a lot of history to them, a lot of sentimental value that just aren't, replaceable with that.
After 1.5, Ashland.
But I
Madison, 0.
would say we had a lot of positive support from our community, from the folks down there at Disney, from music stores, from other
Really?
bands who were down at Disney. There was a band from Anna, Ohio down there that had one instrument that we weren't able to rent that stayed to give us that instrument.
That's cool.
And then our kids just reacted, as you would hope they would, with a lot of resilience and a lot of positivity. Aside from the instruments, they had a great time. Mr. Crawl, the director, told me some stories of our kids helping other people while they were down there. There was an accident in a restaurant where our kids jumped in and helped people clean up. So just a really great representation of Ashland with our music group, down there and everything they did.
It's got to make you feel good.
Oh, it does. Makes me really proud of those kids.
Yeah, it's got to make you, we were talking about, leadership and all these things in high school and surveys and whatever, but I have to imagine at some points through the season, or through the year, here I'm talking sports, through the school year, that you probably write that down or you circle that, and then you come back to those things and say, at least I'm thinking you probably do, hey, was it a good year or a bad year, whatever
Yeah.
it was, and then you start saying, oh my gosh, I forgot about that, and that happened in November, and that happened in January, whatever it was, and then you're like, man, and I hope you take a lot of self-satisfaction in that, because it all starts with you and the leadership that you show and that you push down, and that's how you run the building, right? I mean, you lead from the top and expect, hey, these are the expectations, and let's push it outwards.
That's what we try to do, but I'll tell you what, the kids are the ones that keep me feeling good about education. All the other things that get in the way, laws and different things that the state comes up with. Really, it's about the kids and seeing their growth as human beings, and watching them turn something negative into something positive is just amazing. That's why you keep coming back to education.
So Arrow to Arrow, for all you viewers out there, if you have young arrows in grade school or elementary or junior high school or whatever, I talk about this with Josh and Steve all the time, and I say it every time, Josh, it's a broken record, but it's my favorite program in the school. And the reason is they get real world life lessons as a junior or senior in high school, where they're mentoring into younger kids, which they're being looked upon as adults. And they're being looked upon as how they carry themselves, how they talk to them, how they interact, how they, they think about, oh, did that kid get in trouble? And I hear about a story. Oh, maybe all the things he told me is a bunch of, ballywhack, right?
Yeah.
But no, that's like a first step into an adult setting, and, it's just life lessons and whatnot. So I implore you guys to keep that thing going. I absolutely love it, and I know you do too.
I do too. It's one of my favorite things. Mike Riley started it, the principal before me. We've grown it a little bit, and it's exactly what you just said, Chris. It's a great opportunity that goes way beyond just what you do in high school. If you're somebody who did this program, you're going to be able to talk about it in job interviews for years about what you saw and how it grew you and the experience that you got during it. So we encourage our kids every year to want to be a part of this. And I think at the end, it's the most meaningful to them about this time of year, because they're about to leave their mentee for the year, and they start to see how impactful it's been on that younger arrow. And that's just a wonderful thing.
Well, I can tell you from personal experience, this dates back 5-6 years ago. I heard about those stories, and then it dates back a year after that, and I heard about those stories. And then last year, it dates back, and I hear about those stories. And this year, I hear about those stories. And the reason is both of my kids were involved in Arrow to Arrow, and they talked at great length about it, and sit around the kitchen table, and we're eating dinner, and that invariably comes up. You ask them about their day, and, there's all kinds of great things. There's a bullet by Bryant down, and that's in the gap. He'll get a single out of that one. Nice job by the 9-hole hitter to get a single here with one out in the bottom of the second inning here for the Arrows. But, I loved hearing about it, and I kept pushing the button to, tell me more. And that's where, honestly, that's where my love of it came from, is saw the impact on my own kids. Man, they're really getting it. This is life.
Yeah, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your support of letting me talk about the program and the things that you do personally to make that happen. So, yeah, it's phenomenal.
Well, I know you got to get going, man. I really appreciate it. You're going to get over to track, and thanks again for coming up. Really appreciate the time.
You guys take care. Keep doing a great job.
All right. Thank you very much, Josh Packard, joining us for some thoughts on what is another great year of Ashland High School wrapping up. Like you said, Chris, hard to believe it's already almost the end of the line for another academic year.
Yep.
Got a man on first, one out. We're in the bottom of the second inning.
They don't make it much better than him, David.
Well, he's been at it a long time, just as you mentioned, and has some other of his colleagues that are retiring after long, great careers. Ground ball, right side. That's going to scoot into right field. Back-to-back hits. Let's see if Bryant can go first to third. He will. They deked him into a head-first dive at third, but better to be safe than sorry.
He just wanted to make his mom get the tide out tonight, David.
So that one hit fairly softly, but a seeing-eye single gets the job done. That was Tanner Wolf. He's 2 for 2.
I tell you what, young Ethan Hegg, I've got to get a lesson on how he did this, but that number 40 that he carries on the back side of that uniform is all dirt. And I didn't see him on the deck yet, David, but that thing is dark brown.
I've just done a sort of a infield angel type move.
I don't know. Gonna have to ask.
First and third, one out, 3-0 Ashland. We are here in the bottom of the second inning. Sunny skies. Game time temp of 75. That might still be going up. Runner goes from first, and no throw. So Wolf now at second base after the steal. They were hoping to pump fake and maybe draw Bryant off third. He wasn't biting on that, so another threat here for the Arrows. Got off to a good start with a 3-run first.
That's that Pony League play, David.
Was wise to it, so Arrows have 2 minutes scoring position now. Stone pitching and a high fly ball to center field. Morrow comes in, should be deep enough to get a run home. Throw coming in, it'll be cut off. 4-0 Ashland. Sacrifice fly by Ethan Hegg, his second sacrifice of the day. Had the bunt last inning. Drives in a run here. Wolf tags up and moves to third.
It's a terrific job of hitting from your 2-hole hitter, David, and a sophomore to boot. You have a second and third, and your only job is to get the ball in play and get that run home, right? If you get an out, you get an out. It's okay. There's less than 2 outs. Great job by the young Hag there to put that ball deep into center field, score the run, and then not only that, but get Wolf up from second to third base.
Brayton Stewart will step in now. He also had the sac bunt, and he rips one into left field. That's an RBI single, 2-out knock. That makes it 5-0 Ashland. Brayton Stewart 1 for 1. He drives in a run with 2 outs. This is third RBI of the year.
5-0. Arrows putting crooked numbers on the board, David. Good things happen with crooked numbers.
Home opener, technically.
Yeah.
First game on this field. They did play on Saturday across the street at AU, but debuting here on campus today. And
I think Stewart's gone. Yeah.
There he takes off. Pitch is high. Throw down to second on a couple of bounces, way too late. Brayton Stewart now at second base. Second steal of the inning for the Arrows. Noah Merrill at the plate, 1-0.
Yeah, it's the one there, Stone. He's holding him. He's looking over at him. But, you can see that Stewart got an extra step and a half there once Stone comes set. And he's really a one-looker. What's that mean? He looks at the runner once and then back to the plate, and then he goes. He's not changing up his looks to draw these Arrow base runners out of rhythm or off kilter. It's basically, it's a patented move, right? That's what Stone's demonstrated thus far. He got a one look over from Stone on the mound, and then Stewart able to get another step and a half. And look, you get another step and a half, and you've already got a monumental lead. You're going to be safe every time at second base, and that's what happened there on that last play.
Merrill is 1 for 1. He drove in 2 runs with a opposite field double back in the first inning. Stone pitching, that's outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike now to Noah Merrill. Trent Summers on deck. 2 men are out here in the second inning. Merrill is off to a phenomenal start against a Mansfield team that's being coached by a new staff. They were a 3-win team a year ago. But they do have some pieces back, some seniors and upperclassmen. These teams will play again tomorrow over at Mansfield, Madison, weather permitting.
Really nice park over there at Madison.
They just have put in turf on the infield now.
Yeah. Passing budgets over there.
2-1, Spinner is way inside. So a 3-1 count now to Merrill, bottom of 2. Again, we thank Josh Packard for joining us on our game day guest interview. Whitcomb and Hess bringing you that. They have all of your needs covered. Plan, grow, and thrive. Financial advisors and CPAs will help you grow your business and investments. That's Whitcomb and Hess.
What a nice day. It's hard to believe that today is the day we drew. When yesterday it was 37 degrees and raining and nasty.
Well, this game was originally scheduled for Tuesday, and that was a rough day as well. And although it had rain in the forecast, it kind of held off. Probably could have gotten the game in, and it was fairly warm, but the threat of the rain and the lightning and things like that, I think they just thought better of trying to start that game and maybe being interrupted.
Tomorrow doesn't look great.
No, it doesn't.
Friday doesn't look great.
This one lifted in the air to right. Spurlock seems to have a beat on it, makes the catch, and retires Summers for the final out of the inning. But the Arrows send 7 batters to the plate. They score 2 more runs. They do it on 3 hits. They now have 6 in the game. No errors, and 2 runners were left on base. We've played 2, and heading to the top of the 3rd, it's Ashland 5, Madison nothing.
Ashland isn't just where we work. It's our home. From glorious country to Main Street parades, we're proud to be part of what makes this town special. At Bill Harris Dealerships, being a key member of the community is one of our core values. But it's more than that. It's a responsibility. Because without Ashland, without you, we wouldn't be here. So stay golden, Ashland. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. Done right on time. With free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Now we're checking that Simonson scoreboard. It's 5-0 Arrows. As we go to the top half of the 3rd inning, Simonson Construction Services serving Ashland and North Central Ohio for over 50 years. Evan DeHenden back to work. Owen Morrow lead things off for Madison here. Top of 3. He'll be followed by Liam Stone and Julian Washington. Cohen Brandt if they get a man on base. 5-zip Ashland. Owen bounces to the plate.
A little maintenance here, folks. Oh, not that much.
1 ball, no strikes to Mr. Morrow. He's a senior. Evan DeHenden has scattered 2 hits. He has fanned 4 so far. Hard throwing righty. Member of the junior class. This one chopped on the ground, foul.
Well, folks, football is one thing, basketball's another, and being outside with a net in front of you is another. So, apologies.
Just a few pieces of twine there, Chris. No big deal. 1-1. That one is a strike over the outside corner. Breaking ball. Again, Bill Rosenbaum calling the balls and strikes. Kirby Kaiser on the bases. Making the impartial calls in today's game. Wind continues to blow out to center field. Morrow strikes out swinging. That's number 5 in the strikeout department for Evan DeHinden. Liam Stone will step to the plate now. 5-0 Ashland, home opener. Both of these teams are 1-0. Here is the right-hander's pitch and a swing and a foul back. Good fastball, good cut by Liam Stone. He walked in the first inning. We'll be back out here on Saturday. Will be our next telecast here on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network. Wadsworth will be in town for a high noon start. So the Arrows and the Grizzlies, we'll have that one for you. There's a strike call. So he's got Stone in an 0-2 hole. Looking for strikeout number 6. He has fanned now 4 of the last 5 batters that he has faced. DeHinden pitching, and jam job there is fouled off to the left. Stone, the senior, with a good cut. Julian Washington on deck. Evan DeHinden again pitched 2 innings in that game on Saturday. Closed it out. Had 3 Ks in that game, so he's up to 8 now. There's a wave and a miss. Got him with a breaking ball away. It was scooped by Wolf, and he'll throw down to first base to complete the strikeout. There's Julian Washington now, the cleanup man, left fielder. He struck out back in the first inning. Ashland Baseball brought to you by Comfort Control, providing the best comfort for residential and commercial customers for more than 40 years. That's Comfort Control. Hendon low and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. How you feeling, partner?
Sweating. Little new view. How about that? Sometimes when it rains, it pours, David, but we'll make do.
The 1-0. That one is taken low for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes.
You want it down, Gunder?
I've never seen a more beautiful shot, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Here is the 2-0. That one's over for a strike. He's got the breaking ball going now.
Maybe when Andre Knott's holding the camera, it'd probably be a little better, but
I think we're all right.
I think it's great. Look, you get to watch baseball live if you're in Kansas from Ashland High School. Pretty sweet.
I feel like Kansas is one of our most fertile states for viewers. I don't know how that happened, but
Florida is in there.
Yeah.
Texas and California. Lots and lots of text messages I've gotten over the years.
2-2. DeHinden kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. High fastball. That, my friends, is striking out the side. 3 up, 3 down for the first time. Middle of inning number 3 here at Ashland High School. Your score, the Arrows 5, the Rams nothing.
2.5. Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
Well, here we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Home opener. And the Arrows are leading the Madison Rams in OCC play, 5-0. 3 big runs in the first, 2 more in the second. And now Carson Little will lead things off in the third inning. Back in that first inning, a double for Noah Merrill drove in 2 runs. Our extra base hits this year brought to you by Coldwell Banker Ward Real Estate, Ashland's trusted real estate experts. Little struck out his first time up. He takes a ball low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Arrows moved dugouts this year, David. I don't know if you know that, but Arrows were in the first base box. There's a liner over the shortstop Stegal's head, and that one's going to be a leadoff single for Little. But the Arrows were in the third base box, for quite some time. And after head coach A.J. Beer got this job, he decided to move the squad over to the first base side.
Well, it's paying dividends.
Thus far.
5 runs.
I like dividends, David.
Nothing better than dividends and capital gains.
No, we don't like
Oh,
capital
okay.
gains, David. Although capital gains
I've
are
never
a good
had any, so I don't.
capital gains
I thought they were good.
Or they're a good thing, right? That means you did something great and right, but had the responsibility that follows capital gains. No fun.
You reinvest all the dividends, right, Chris?
Yes, that's called drip, David.
Okay. Fouled back here by Hugh Bacher. 7 hits in the game. 5-0 Ashland. Little aboard at first base.
You seen the price of oil recently? It reacts like a cryptocurrency these days. I didn't know that viewers were going to get some CNBC today, did they?
Little chase back with a throw over at first base. Hugh Bacher at the plate. Carter Nelson on deck, and then Jake Bryant. Again, these teams scheduled to play tomorrow over at Madison. Wadsworth in here on Saturday for a noon game. This one jacked toward left field, hit pretty well.
Absolute
Washington moving
bullet.
back, still going back. It's over his head. That's going to roll to the fence. Little hits third. He keeps on coming. Cutoff throw over the head of Stiegel. It's an RBI double for Liam Hubacher. He ends up at second base. It is 6-0 Ashland. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. That ball was smoked.
That ball was a nuke to left field and burnt the left fielder Washington. He had no prayer, frankly, and he just had to show his mom his number and run. David, I always said that's a bad thing when you got to show your mom your number when you're an outfielder. That's a problem, and that's what happened to Washington and the Rams there. And Hubacher put a charge in that one, another double, run-scoring double, and 6-0 Arrows.
Well, here's Nelson now. He struck out looking last inning. 8 hits in the game now for Ashland. 1 ball, no strikes to Nelson.
That's pretty good through 6 outs, David.
No question about that. Arrows have come out swinging. Of course, A.J. Beer, you talk to him about, his coaching philosophy, and one of the things he says is just we want to try to take every base we can, however we can take it. Whether that's playing some small ball or hitting in the gaps, hitting for power, but just try to cause chaos out there and make things uncomfortable for the opponent. That's what they've done today. We've seen them run the gamut.
Music to my ears. Put pressure on the opponent, period. Full stop.
Carter Nelson 0 for 2 on Saturday. Came in to play defense midway through that ball game. And the Arrows used 3 pitchers in that game and fouled back.
Arrows have sent 16 men to the plate so far, David. Struck out twice. That's fantastic. That is massively improved from years past here that we've watched. Massive improvement here. We'll see if that trend can continue for the rest of the season. If it is, that's another thing that's in the Arrows' feather here, or in their cap, that they have a chance that they can rewrite a lot of positives there too for this season.
This one lifted into shallow center. Morrow gets to the spot. He'll make the catch. He had to double time it in. He was playing deep against Nelson. That's the first out, and Jake Bryant will step to the plate.
Number 26, Jacob Bryant.
Bryant singled and scored in the third inning. A fun day of baseball so far. We've had tremendous weather. Sun is back out. Wind still kicking out to center field. Number 9 hitter, Jake Bryant. And he's been sort of strategically placed in that number 9 hole. He's very capable of being a leadoff or number 2 hitter, but A.J. Beer really feels that you get that sort of extra leadoff guy in the number 9 hole. Feels that Jake fits that mold perfectly.
Yeah, 9's not a guy you hide, right? You want to have a guy that can circle you around, and here Jake Bryant's going to show you can handle the bat too, and he's fast enough and just about beat it there, but he is going to get a sac fly or sac bunt.
Yep, Proctor does stay at home. That's the 3rd sac bunt of the day for the Arrows. That one goes 1-3. Hugh Bacher to third base. Top of the order now, and Tanner Wolf, and he's gone 2 for 2 so far.
2 for 2, 2 singles and 2 runs scored. That's a pretty handy day.
Yeah, mix in a steal. So Stone trying to strand a runner at third. It is 6-0 Ashland. Bottom half of the 3rd inning. The right-hander delivers. That one's lifted and could be trouble. It's on the infield. Let's see if the wind plays any tricks. It doesn't. Stiegel makes the catch. And Stone limits the damage to 1 run. 1 run, 2 hits. No errors. Runner left on at third, and the Arrows have stranded 4. David Wilson along with Chris Mowry. 3 in the books. Your score, the Arrows 6 and the Rams nothing.
Ashland isn't just where we work. It's our home. From glorious country to Main Street parades, we're proud to be part of what makes this town special. At Bill Harris Dealerships, being a key member of the community is one of our core values. But it's more than that. It's a responsibility. Because without Ashland, without you, we wouldn't be here. So stay golden, Ashland. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. Done right on time. With free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Along with Brandon Gunder at the controls and Chris Mowry, David Wilson back here, bringing you our first baseball broadcast of the season.
BG's the star of the show, David.
Yeah.
He's the unsung hero. He even put his earphones on to hear what you and I were going to say about him. Look at him back there.
And you got Garth was here earlier helping get everything set up, so we appreciate Garth Boyd.
BW checked in from Wilmington.
And now who was that?
Brandon?
I'm just kidding. All right, Evan DeHenden ready to get back to work here. He's been outstanding, Chris. 7 Ks, and he has fanned now 4 consecutive batters.
Well, he's done a good job of getting ahead of the batters here after that first inning. He labored a little bit. He faced 5 in the first, faced 5 in the second, but he got the strikeout of the side in the second. And guess what? 3 guys he faced, 2, 3, 4 last inning, struck him out 3 up, 3 down. So he's finding his groove, yes, but it starts with getting ahead of the batter.
1 ball and no strikes here to Cohen Brandt, the DH. Brandt, Proctor, and Stiegel due up for the Rams, who are trying to get something going here. They scored 6 runs on Monday in a shutout win against Ontario. That went in there for a strike. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Brandt, the DH. He grounded out to third back in the first inning.
Spinner pitch looked pretty good there from DeHenden.
He's been mixing in his breaking ball and his fastball. That one way inside, and that clipped the batter. Like he got him on the left arm somewhere there.
I might be asking about that one if I'm head coach A.J. Beer, but he is down there holding his arm. Maybe it did get him on the shin.
Yep.
Or
Heard a little click there. I wondered at first
yeah.
if it might have hit the bottom of the bat, but I think it got him a little further up there.
Okay.
Hayden Proctor will bat.
Well, David, as you know, I usually see it all for the favor of the team that I'm rooting for.
Yeah, rose-colored glasses. 6-0 Ashland here. 4th inning. DeHenden delivers. Been low and away. Wolf's done a nice job behind the plate.
just overthrowing the baseball there here with the Hendon when he's in the stretch there. And you can see he's working off the left side of the mound. He's missing left, so it's an easy adjustment to make there. But he's throwing and delivering across his body. He's not finishing at the catcher here. You'll see this. Hopefully he gets that delivery figured out here, and he's going and delivering right at Tanner Wolf behind the dish.
He has walked a pair and now hit one. But 7 strikeouts. Proctor was able to draw a walk to lead it off in the second inning. That one catches the outside corner.
A really nice pitch there from DeHenden. That had a little giddy up on it right
sure
there
did.
on the black of the part on the outside of the plate.
Now field straight away against Proctor. Barrel's pretty shallow and right. Right-handed batter. That one sweeps outside. Nice block by Wolf. Stiegel is the on-deck batter.
6-0 lead here, David. I'm going to challenge guys. I'm going to throw fastballs and make guys hit the ball. You've got the position of the game is exactly what you hoped you were going to find when you woke up this morning thinking about the game day that you had coming up here. Last thing we want to do is walk dudes. Last thing we want to do is hit guys. We want to throw it over the dish, and we want to make them play baseball and score runs the hard way, and that's putting the ball in play, hitting it where we aren't. But we want to give our guys, 7 guys behind him, an opportunity to catch the ball and throw it over there and get it out.
3-1 right down the middle. Looked like Proctor was willing to take that one all the way. 3-2.
Throw it there again.
Nobody out yet. Brandt over at first base. He was hit by a pitch to start the inning. Hendon delivers. Just got a piece of that one to stay alive. We'll do it again at 3 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the comfort control 4th inning. 6-0 Ashland. They have out-hit the Rams so far 8-2.
That's also good.
The wind is really whipping around now.
It's going to make a fly ball an adventure to catch.
I think we're going to see one before this game is over. Ground ball toward the middle to be cut off.
Oh, Patton.
There's second for one, on to first. That's a double play. Nice stretch by Little. Nice job by Bryant. Hayden Proctor grounds into the 4-3 double play. We'll see it again, I believe, on our Sarver replay. A 4-3 double play couldn't have taken it to the bag any easier, Chris. Tailor-made.
It literally was on the right side of second base even, and it literally, when he caught it in his glove, his next step with his right, where his rear foot was on the bag. I mean, sometimes it just, Johnny on the spot. There it is.
Kyler Stiegel with 2 outs. Bases empty now. 6-0 Ashland. There's a called strike, and it's 0-1.
Now, I played with guys in the past that have butchered that play, David, and my goodness, you don't want to be in the dugout when they come in after that inning. My goodness. It's like striking out slow pitch softball, the grief you get.
We did a good job making sure he fielded the ball, then made contact with the bag. Made it look easy. That one inside, and that one got him on that elbow pad. So that's the second hit batter of the inning. 2-out base runner for the Rams, and Grady Spurlock will step to the plate.
Yeah, both of those deliveries there that have resulted in HBPs, to Hendon just not following through. He's given up on his delivery and his motion, not following through and snapping it off. You'll see it there when you watch this game back. He's kind of giving up, throwing the ball, and it's just riding up in him against those right-handed hitters. So mechanics very, very important, especially in a high school baseball pitcher, man. You got to do it the way you've been taught and the way you've done it for years and years and years, and trust what's gotten you to this point.
Snap throw down to first, not in time. Stiegel was wise to that. 1 ball, no strikes after the pitch out. That one right down the middle, a swing and a miss.
Some activity down there in the Ram bullpen.
All right. That might be Aiden Proctor, who led off. Actually, he was the man who hit into that double play, so we'll see if he might be in line for a trip to the mound. Strike at the knees here, 1 and 2, so he's ahead in the count. What's on your mind right here? What might he be coming with?
The pitcher?
Yeah.
A fastball.
All right.
Strike. There's no need for any curveball business. Throw it down the plate.
It was the breaking ball there, Chris, and he got a piece of it to stay alive.
Give him the heater, Ricky. I want to throw heaters until they prove they can hit it. Sorry, that's just how I was raised and how I grew up. And if you can turn my fastball around consistently and make me look like a knucklehead, then I'll start mixing in what I need to. But a changeup and a fastball will get you a long way in life, and there it is. Fastball down the middle, and here we go. Strikeout yet again.
They got him looking there. Spurlock retired. That's the 8th K of the game for Evan DeHenden. No runs, no hits. Were no errors. A couple of batters were hit. There was a double play. One man was left on base, and the Rams have stranded 5. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It's still Ashland 6 and Madison nothing.
Ashland isn't just where we work. It's our home. From glorious country to Main Street parades, we're proud to be part of what makes this town special. At Bill Harris Dealerships, being a key member of the community is one of our core values. But it's more than that. It's a responsibility. Because without Ashland, without you, we wouldn't be here. So stay golden, Ashland. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust.
Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland. Steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
We go on to the bottom half of the 4th inning.
Number 40,
Ethan Hegg will lead things off, followed by Brayton Stewart, Noah Merrill, Trent Summers if they get someone on base. 6-0 Ashland. Home 4th inning. Liam Stone still on the hill for the Madison Rams. Hegg, no official ABs yet. He had a sac bunt in the first, a sacrifice fly, and an RBI in the 2nd inning. And he takes a strike, and the count is 0-1. Another guest has wandered into the booth here. Chris, who do we have?
It's always the game day guest. It's Hudson. He's here, man. Hi, buddy.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
You couldn't miss the Arrows home opener, could you?
Got to think about that one for a while, Hudson.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Okay, tell David what you did this week that very few people get to do. Where'd you go?
Gonna need a reminder.
Probably.
Fly ball to center
What?
field, very shallow. That's going to drop in for a hit
What?
for Ethan Hegg. It's the 9th hit of the day for the Arrows, and Brayton Stewart will step to the plate. Nobody out. Man at first base, 6-0 Ashland.
Hudson, did you go to Cleveland this week? What'd you do in Cleveland?
Run on field.
What field?
Browns field.
The Browns field. You were there? Oh, my goodness.
All
David,
right.
he was at the
Very
Factory
nice.
of Sadness.
All right.
We're getting ready to...
Were you carrying a football while you were running there, Hudson?
A
Good.
brown football.
Good, good.
A big football.
Yeah.
Whose locker did you sit in?
Miles.
Miles who?
Garrett.
Miles
Okay.
Garrett? What did he have inside his locker that was pretty cool?
Dinos.
Dinosaurs. Paleontology degree.
Okay.
Yeah, at A&M. Did you know he was going to be a Buckeye, but A&M's paleontology, I'm sure I butchered that word, was better at A&M than Ohio State? That's the only reason he wasn't a Buckeye?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a fact. Could you imagine if he was playing DN for the Buckeyes during that time period
quite a
with
player,
Urban
yeah.
Meyer? Oh, my goodness.
No balls, 1 strike here to Brayton Stewart.
Well, David, I do know this. If he was a Buckeye, we would have probably never drafted him because he was a Buckeye. That was just kind of how it worked there for quite a while.
Runner at first base here. Stewart batting. He had an RBI. Runner goes. That one is jacked out to left. Playable for Washington. And he'll haul it in. 1 out. Hegg returns to first base. Noah Merrill coming up. All right, what else we got?
Hudson, show's yours.
What?
What do you want to talk about?
27, Noah Merrill.
How are the Arrows playing?
Good.
Yeah, how's DeHenden pitching?
good.
He is?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I would say so, too. He's pitching really, really well. You're on TV right there. What are you making that face for?
Runner goes again. Fouled back to the catcher. Throw down to second. Way too
Do
high.
not hit me.
That'll be a steal for Haig. Arrows now have 3 in the ball game.
You know, David, I was excited to see Haig come up there, nobody on base, see how he was going to handle the bat. We hadn't seen that yet this year, and he did a really, really nice job. Gotten just enough of it there to flare it into shallow center field for his maiden hit, I believe, of the year. So really good to see, and I'm going to be excited to watch that young man's, season evolve. Obviously, his junior and senior years to follow, but I think the Arrows have a piece in him, and he certainly looks the part. So we'll see what he can do here as we get a bit further into the season.
He's turned that single into a double now with the steal. 6-0 Arrows. And Stone delivers. That one is hit in the air to deep left field. Washington going back, still going back. That one is a gapper in left center field. Haig will score easily. Turning second, heading for third. It'll be a triple for Merrill. It's 7-0 Ashland. Merrill now with 3 RBIs and a couple of extra base hits. Now that one was socked into the gap. No chance for either Washington or Morrow.
Number 2.
David, that was absolutely blasted. That ball, believe it or not, was actually hit better than the ball Hubacher hit. And Hubacher's was an absolute annihilated missile out there towards left field. And Merrill got just about all of that one. And that one was in the air. We talked about that 15, 18-mile-an-hour wind. They had a chance to keep going there. Didn't get just enough of it to challenge the fence. But nice job there, Merrill. And still 1 out, runner at third base. Got a chance to put another one on the board here.
Noah Merrill now 2 for 2 with a walk. He's at third base, and this one outside for a ball. 1-0.
I guess
All right.
Hudson's retiring, David, for the day.
Yep, the time has expired that he...
The interest level has ended. Randy, that's my nephew.
The gears of childhood turn quickly, Chris.
They turn quickly. Yeah, he's probably going to go ask Tara for some candy at the concession stand. If I know him.
A devoted fan.
Yeah.
That one's high for a ball to Trent Summers. He drove in a run with a hit in the first inning. 1 for 2 in the ball game. We're in the bottom of the 4th.
Hudson in the Falls got the last segment on Friday Night Football. I do my thing, and I bring Hudson in. He gives us the breakdown, only like a 5-year-old, 4-year-old can do, and then he sends her back up to BW. He said it just like that. And we call it a day after that. It's pretty fun with the little guy.
Well, he knows people.
He does. He knows the right ones. I tell him all the time. He doesn't know what I'm telling him, but, it's about what you know, who you know sometimes more than what you know.
2 balls, 1 strike, 7-0 Ashland. Home 4th inning. Stone pitching, and that one's a little bit low, blocked by Parsons. Not a whole lot of room behind the plate here as far as wild pitches. They'll get a bounce back off the back wall, so a little tough to score from third unless it kicks off left or right.
Well, David, that's by design. When we redid this field, the backstop was 53 feet. That's not a joke. From the dish back to the backstop, we said, that's not baseball. This isn't the pros. So we moved it up. We put the press box right on top of the net so you can see what's going on.
3 balls, 2 strikes now to Summers. Carson Little on deck. We're in the 4th inning. Arrows have led from the get-go. They scored 3 times in the bottom of the 1st.
Scored in every inning.
They have profited in each and every inning so far, and they're trying to get Merrill in from third base. The right-hander delivers, swing and a miss. Well, he wins the battle there, got the strikeout of Summers. That was the 3rd for Liam Stone. Here comes Carson Little now, 1 for 2. A little bit later on, we'll name our big hit of the game, brought to you by Big Land Home Improvement and Property Maintenance, located right here in Ashland. Check them out for all of your home and property needs. Got some candidates for that already.
I like going against the grain, David. Always have. I think it might be a twofer. We'll see.
Okay. That one's socked into left. That's a candidate. That drives in Noah Merrill from third base. RBI single to left field for Carson Little. He has a 2-hit ball game. And it's 8-0 Ashland.
The batter, number 5.
His first RBI.
Well, the Arrows are taking advantage of the opportunities given to them and they're hitting the baseball. But when they get men in scoring position, they're playing offense and they're putting pressure on the defense, sack bunts, et cetera, and then they're getting timely hits, and it's hard to defend, right? It's really difficult when you got guys that are hitting lasers all around the baseball field.
Looks like Henry Kinney is going to check in and pinch run for Carson Little.
Number 9, Henry Kinney.
Boy, that's a tough job to pinch run, man. Sit over there the whole time, and then you grab a helmet, dude. Don't get picked off. 2 outs. Going on contact.
Try and get those knees limbered up in case he has to take off. Liam Hubacher at the plate, an RBI double in the 3rd inning. 1 for 2 in the game. It's now 8-0 Ashland, bottom of the 4th, and they can start potentially thinking a run rule situation here. That one into left. Washington has to play it on a bounce. It's a 2-out single. Kenny moves up to second base. So it has been now a 4-hit inning.
Tell you what, David, the Arrows getting a bat hit around on the baseball and barreling it up and hitting liners here. And we're going to have a mound visit here by head coach Stone from the Rams. We may see a move here. We'll see.
It may be the end of the line for Liam Stone. We'll see. They might see if he can get Nelson out and get to the end of the frame. First and second for Ashland. Good piece of hitting there. Hubacher squared that one up very well. Like you said, Chris, they've been getting around and pulling those hits into left and left center.
Yep. I think Merrill's was the only one that was a backside hit, and he had that double down the right side. So he's, hit 2 rockets. So he had the double down the right field line, and then that one that challenged the fence there in left field for a triple. So, yeah, the Arrows just been hitting the baseball. Look, it's hard to defend, right, when you're hitting the ball on the line and gaps and whatnot. And give the Arrows credit. They're doing a fantastic job thus far against Stone.
All right, we've got a pitching change in the offing here, so we'll step aside and see exactly how they're going to reconfigure the Madison defense. Ashland still batting in the 4th and leading it by a score of 8-0, so we'll take this time out. Back in just a moment with more Ashland baseball on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com.
Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
Well, Aiden Proctor, who we saw warming up in the bullpen a little while ago, he takes the mound from first base. There's a wild pitch, but both runners stayed put. Nelson at the plate. Carter Nelson batting with Jake Bryant on deck. So just a easy switch there for us, Chris. Not too challenging with Liam Stone moving over to first.
Yeah, on your score sheet, you can draw an arrow if you wanted to. Save some lead.
Proctor, big, tall right-hander. Nelson 0 for 2, looking to get involved in the hit parade. 12 hits in the game for the Arrows. Stone 3 2/3 innings, 12 hits, a walk, 3 Ks. First and second, he's still responsible for both of those runners. That one low and scooped out by Parsons.
usually this is game one, obviously, of the series, and I love how the OCC does it in basically all of Ohio, where you have to play Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, or whatever back-to-back, so you don't get a horse, right? Like if you're in a conference battle or whatever, you've got to use the depth of your pitching. And the Arrows still run into Hendon out there. They're I'll call it a Tuesday starter because of the rain out. It's Thursday, and their inning is retired. Nelson grounds out, but you're going to see now you get into pitcher number 2 for the Rams, and that helps you for tomorrow, right? Because you've got who knows how many deep you're going to have to go here, and it could be a big advantage for the Arrows.
Yeah, no question about that, Chris. And another profitable inning in the fourth. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 2 were left on base. So Proctor gets the job done, puts out the fire, and we go to the 5th. It's Ashland 8, Madison nothing.
Ashland isn't just where we work, it's our home. From glorious country to Main Street parades, we're proud to be part of what makes this town special. At Bill Harris Dealerships, being a key member of the community is one of our core values. But it's more than that. It's a responsibility. Because without Ashland, without you, we wouldn't be here. So stay golden, Ashland. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. Done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Well, here we go to the 5th inning. Landon Parsons will lead things off. Parsons a single back in the 2nd inning. Ashland 8 and Madison nothing. Game number 2 of the season for both clubs. Evan DeHenden back to work and throws a breaking ball over for a strike. Parsons, Taylor, and Morrow due up. Stone if they get someone on base. Beautiful, bright, and sunny right now. It was 75 at game time. Recheck that temp. Wave and a miss. Strike 2. Right now, Ashland down to 73. No balls, 2 strikes. Wind still blowing out. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. Good start to the top of the 5th. That is strikeout number 9.
Number 5, Ashton Taylor.
There's Ashton Taylor, 0 for 2, a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. Coming up after the game, we'll have our Janney post-game show. It'll include some post-game reaction from players and coaches. So we hope you'll stay tuned for those reports. Here is the right-hander's delivery, and it hits Taylor right in the back. A breaking ball, still probably didn't feel very nice. It's the 3rd hit batter.
Number 4, Owen.
2 walks in the game for Evan DeHenden. So that is a share of traffic on the bases, but he has limited the hits to 2. 1 of those in the 1st inning, 1 in the 2nd. Both were harmless singles. Starts out Morrow with a swinging strike. They'll play at Madison tomorrow, 5 o'clock start if you want to make the trip over. We'll be back here for coverage on Saturday at noon. That one's in there for a called strike. 0-2. Liam Stone on deck. DeHenden, the hard-throwing junior. That's outside. Coming up, throwing Wolf. Not nearly in time to get Taylor. One out walk. 8-0 Ashland. You could not ask more of Evan DeHenden. He delivers. Spinner way inside. Couple of balls, 2 strikes. Ashland has scored in every inning, starting with a 3 spot in the 1st. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, fastball. He has reached double figures now in the K department with 10. Liam Stone to the plate, 2 outs.
We may have a date with Mr. DeHenden postgame, David.
Yeah, there's no question. 2 hitters so far, 10 Ks. That one hit on the ground. Took a funny hop, and Nelson only could knock it down. It looked like it hit right on the lip of the grass. It took a funny bounce, handcuffed him. Stone aboard. Taylor moves up to second base.
Well, that lip has wreaked havoc here for a very, very long time.
Yeah, that hit it and just changed trajectory there. I think you have to go with a bat hop single there. Julian Washington to hit.
Ooh.
I thought you saw everything through rose-colored glasses, Chris.
Ooh.
Here's the pitch and a high fly ball. That's toward left center field, and it's a nice running catch. Stewart ends up sprawling out there after picking it off. Nice catch to retire the side. No runs. There was a hit, no errors. A couple of men were left on base. The Rams have left 7 in the ball game. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. 2 runs will win it for the Arrows. It's 8-0 Ashland.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com.
Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
Well, we're checking that Simonson Construction scoreboard, and it's very favorable for the Arrows, 8-0, as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Here at Butt Plank Field, Archer Arrows Park, Ashland High School, David Wilson, Chris Mowry, and boy, Evan DeHenden has just been outstanding. Arrows have played terrific defense, just as they did on Saturday, looking to go 2-0 to start the campaign. Bright and sunny. You just couldn't have better conditions today, Chris. Maybe a little less wind, but it really hasn't been a factor.
Yeah, for sure. Really happy for head coach A.J. Beer. You know, you never know, right? You make a coaching change, and you just never know, right? It doesn't matter if it's, you know, Pony League or varsity baseball or manager of the Guardians, right? And it's nice to see his squad come out here beating the baseball to death. And, you know, they scored 8 runs on Saturday, and they've scored 8 runs today. So, hey, man, you can win a lot of games if you can put an 8 number up there, and you can have some crooked innings, and especially when you back that up with getting a pitching performance like we're getting from DeHenden today.
Jake Bryant leading things off. 1 strike to him after a foul. He's 1 for 1 with a sac bunt. Proctor hits him. That one hit the elbow pad. Leadoff runner on. That brings the winning run to the plate. Tanner Wolf will step to the plate, and he's 2 for 3. 2 singles, 2 runs, a steal. He popped out to shortstop his last time up. Well, what a great catch by Stewart.
Yeah, a great job. Nice, Stewart, nice ball player. They're really high on him, too, so pretty interesting to see, and nice to see him really show out there in center field. And that was a position we thought Jeff Hickey was going to play, would be center field, and then, you know, potentially Stewart plays left or right or whatever. But, you know, now that, you know, Hickey's lost for the campaign, Stewart slides over into center field, and he's showing he can play over there. And partner, I think they agreed with me in the dugout. They did say an error on Nelson at third.
All right, well, we'll change that. There's another pinch runner here. I believe that's Walker Jarvis. Who's going to come in and run for Jake Bryant. On top of the order now, Tanner Wolf. There's a called strike. Let's see if Jarvis has any idea about running.
to Hendon at 83 pitches, David, 53 of which are at strikes.
That one chopped back over to the on-deck circle area, scattered the arrows around a little bit.
Yeah, it did. That was right at Little's nugget.
We got back-to-back left-handed hitters as the Arrows look to try and bring this game to a premature end. Proctor came in, faced one hitter last inning. 0-2. Grounded towards second. That's Taylor waiting on it. He'll flip it to second. That's one. On to first. Double play. Goes 4-6-3. Nicely turned by Stiegel in the middle. Base is empty now. Here's Ethan Haig. He's 1 for 1, a single and a couple of sacrifices, a bunt and a sac fly. Arrows will start over. Nobody on base, 2 gone.
Yeah, Haig's having a nice day, as you've highlighted here. Scored a couple runs and hit his last AB. I want to see him get, some action in the field. We'll see that, obviously, as the season progresses. But, like I say, I'm excited to see this young man continue to play baseball here in the orange and black.
1-0. That's taken outside for a ball. Brayton Stewart on deck, then Merrill. They keep the inning going. 8-0 Ashland. Well, you go back to that first inning, Chris, when the Arrows jumped on top 3-0. It was back-to-back sack bunts. That really set the game in motion in the Arrows' favor.
Music to my ears. Like I say, we talked about it all day, but you're putting pressure on the opponent and you're, playing offense and making plays have to happen on the other side, and that's the name of the game, especially in high school.
2-1 from Proctor. It's a fastball. He's a hard thrower. Missed low there. 3 balls and a strike. We're in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Arrows have scored in every inning. (3-1). That's a little inside, maybe a little bit high as well. So the Arrows keep it going here. 2-out base runner. And the batter is Brayton Stewart.
That streak is in jeopardy right here, David. We're going to have to get a little action here if we're going to keep a number going on the board in the score column. Bryden Bolin was getting loose in the pen. He just came back in. He was playing some toss, so he may see him here coming in here to finish this one out.
Yep. The Hendon threw 5, as you mentioned, Chris, over 80 pitches.
And his first start of the season, David, so you don't want to push it too far. He's throwing a great, great game.
Yeah, he threw 2 innings on Saturday as well, so you have to factor that in.
And threw a bunch of pitches in that inning or inning plus.
Time called here, and Parsons will go out and talk with Proctor. Clouding up a little bit here, so we get a little bit later in the ball game. This game started at 5 o'clock local time. In fact, started a couple minutes early. Runner at first base is Haig. Infield plays in at double play depth. Pitch was outside for a ball. Throw down, not fooling Haig there. But surprised to see him playing in a little bit like that with 2 outs. Let's see if a ground ball can sneak through here. Arrows 8, and the Rams nothing.
I think Haig can move, David. He may be in motion.
He stays put that time. What a rip there by Stewart. Stewart referred to as Mr. Utility. So he is capable of playing a number of positions. Good in the outfield, can also catch.
Only a sophomore.
Well, maybe one of the best athletes on the team.
You'll see him next fall.
Right-handed batter. There goes the runner. Overhand breaking ball is hammered foul at first. So Haig coming back. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Haig had that one stolen standing up, David. Got some fresh paint on the barn down there. It looks nice. Down there, Garden $7 Creek.
1 ball, 2 strikes. They'll chase him back with a throw. The Arrows were trying a little hit and run on that last ball that was struck foul.
2-out hit and run.
I mean, why not?
Everything else has worked.
Here's the pitch from Proctor. That's way out of the strike zone. Another throw, and this one almost got over Stone.
That may have been 2 bags. The right fielder's playing halfway to center
It would have
field.
taken a while to get to that ball.
Look at that space. David, I think we could get a double down there in right field if we hit it over there. It had to go far enough. That's about 2 acres of dirt out there in right field.
Spurlock playing way over. Runner goes again. Ground ball towards shortstop. Stiegel recovers, throws to first. A 1 bouncer, and they got him. Nice scoop by Stone. Well, the hit and run almost worked, but Stiegel was able to make the play. It goes 6-3 to retire Stewart by a eyelash over at first base. No runs, no hits, no errors. There was a double play. 1 man was left on base. We go to the 6th inning. It's Ashland 8, Mansfield Madison nothing.
Ashland isn't just where we work, it's our home. From glorious country to Main Street parades, we're proud to be part of what makes this town special. At Bill Harris Dealerships, being a key member of the community is one of our core values. But it's more than that. It's a responsibility. Because without Ashland, without you, we wouldn't be here. So stay golden, Ashland. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust.
Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
We've got a pitching change as we go to the 6th. Here at Ashland High School, welcome back to our presentation of Arrows Baseball. It's brought to you by our great friends at Sarver Paving. New pitcher coming on, Chris, and that will be the sophomore Bryden Bolin, making his first appearance of the season, and he takes over for Evan DeHenden, who was masterful today in this ballgame.
Yeah, Evan DeHenden goes 5 strong, 83 pitches, gives up 2 scattered hits, really irrelevant hits, basically. He gave up 1 in the first and then, 1 in
the second.
You're right. Thank you for that. And other than that, he struck out the side a couple times. It was a really masterful performance, as you said. The one thing, if you're going to nitpick, and I always think it's good to self-evaluate, right? Any good performance, bad performance, whatever it is, I think when he looks back and, head coach A.J. Beer is probably going to say, yeah, we plunked 2 kids. We don't really want to do that and give them free bags. We want to have guys earn it. But a great outing from the Arrows, and especially Evan DeHenden. And DeHenden gets an A+ in terms of a pitching start. And, David, what I mean by that is anytime you give your team a chance to win, that is your job as a starting pitcher. It's not to go get 10 or 15 strikeouts. That's not the case. If you give your team a chance to win when you exit the ball game, that is mission accomplished and well done. That's exactly what Evan DeHenden's done today.
Yeah, you look back at that first inning, he gave up a hit and a walk. And after that, he really locked in. First pitch swinging for Madison. Another chance for Stewart and another diving catch. He takes a hit away from Cohen Brandt. This time coming straight in at the plate. His second diving catch of the afternoon. Another star in the scorebook, 1 down.
Next time we get a runner at second, maybe we'll suicide squeeze. Maybe we get that play to work. Everything else is working good today, David.
Rams just have to be frustrated. Nothing falling for them.
I would be.
Aiden Proctor, the pitcher, started the game at first base. He'll hit now, 1 out. Top of the 6th inning, 8-0 Ashland. So Bryden Bolin, 5'10", 180-pound right-hander.
Bolin throws it in there, pretty good velocity.
This one socked to left field, pulled down the line. That'll drop for a hit. It's out to Hubacher on 2 hops. One out single.
Number 3.
Third of the
Kyler
game.
Stiegel.
Kyler Stiegel will bat. He's 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch his last time up. Arrows have led throughout. They have an 8-0 advantage right now, and right now they're counting outs. Trying to go to 2-0 on the season. One 0. Foul tip back off the catcher. Short sleeve weather here today, 73 degrees as we speak.
Still blowing pretty good there to center.
Hopefully the weather holds out. Game scheduled here on Saturday at noon against Wadsworth.
We'll be here.
Line drive, it gets through Nelson into shallow left field. First and second on back-to-back hits. And Kyler Stiegel checks in at first.
Number 2.
Grady Spurlock to the plate.
Spurlock.
Well, two pretty well-struck balls here, one out. Spurlock, a strikeout victim twice of Evan DeHenden.
Well, the Arrows being tested here. Obviously got an 8-run lead, so that's really nice. But one out, runners at first and second base, and catcher Tanner Wolf going to go out there and signal some signs. You're down 8 runs. You wouldn't expect any fancy business here from Madison. They really need to go station to station here and try to put a couple digits on the board before they get fancy. But at the end of the day, it's a good chance to find yourselves in a pickle here and in a tough situation. You got to work yourself out of it here early in the season.
That's a good start right there. A strike from Bolin to Grady Spurlock, the senior right fielder.
Message from the dugout is nothing but lots of strikes. That's really what it is. Strikes, strikes, strikes. Well
One
done.
at the knees right there, so he's ahead 0-2. They've not had a whole lot of situations with multiple base runners today. Madison, as we mentioned, had 2 on in the first. They had 2 on in the 5th last inning. Now 2 on, 1 out here. This one waved at and missed on a breaking ball. 3 pitches, and there's your second out. First strikeout for Bolin and the 11th of the day for Arrows pitching.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Good job. And I think he heard me. Kid out there says, I hear you up there, man. I got him to throw 3 strikes and see if he can hit it. And he painted the corner there. And then strike 2 was down at the knees, so he moved the baseball around really nice in the strike zone. And, good things happen when you throw strikes, David.
Number 9 hitter now, Parsons, the catcher. He swings and misses, so 0-1. Taylor on deck. Madison has been shut out so far. The right-hander delivers. That spikes up there and gets away from Wolf. He'll still throw it to third, but not nearly in time. They keep an eye on Stiegel, who hangs out at first. On the corners now with 2 outs. 1 ball and 1 strike to Landon Parsons, the sophomore.
Man, you sure want to keep the shutout, don't you, David?
You know that's definitely on the minds of the Arrows right now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the win is paramount, but when you've come this far, you want to try to complete the whitewash. They're 4 outs away from it. Sun back out in full force. There's a strike, nicely framed by Wolf. So he's a strike away from stranding these 2 guys on. Madison has left 7 in the ball game.
And they've been scattered, though. As you noted, only a couple times, multiple runners per inning, and there's strike 3. Good job by Bolin.
So he climbs the ladder, strikes out the final 2 of the inning. No runs, a couple of hits for the Rams, and 2 runners were left on base. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's Ashland 8 and Madison nothing.
After 5.5.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com.
Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
Well, all of our strikeouts this year brought to you by Sid Suds of Ashland. Soft power washing with superheated water. They have brought you plenty of strikeouts today, 12 of them for Ashland pitching as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Arrows are batting for what they hope is the final time in the ball game. Noah Merrill will be leading things off. The Arrows have had great control today. Evan DeHinden, although he hit 3 Rams. No high and tight pitches today, Chris, but when we have those high and tight little chin music pitches this year, it's brought to you by 419 Barbershop in downtown Ashland. They'll get you looking fresh this spring. Check them out for all of your hair care needs. That's 419 Barbershop.
Yeah, Matt and his team have all your needs covered down there. A shave and a buzz cut here, getting ready for summer. Check them out.
I think BG, that's his style.
Yeah.
Where's
right on cue, partner.
Tanner Wolf, the leadoff hitter Noah Merrill takes one there on the back of the helmet. He had one like that on Saturday, Chris, as well.
We'll call it high and tight, but it's high and hit.
This is a top-notch production here, guys.
Always.
Thanks to Aiden Proctor there for cooperating with our sponsorship read.
Sometimes it's just your day. Not only on the field for the Arrows, but in the box for the guys.
Trent Summers at the plate. Merrill aboard at first base. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Boy, you just look up and down the lineup here, Chris. Everybody has contributed in some way. Next pitch from Proctor. That's a fastball, fouled back. Quickly 0-2. 1 on and nobody out, bottom of 6.
Hey, reminder to stick around for the Janney post-game show. We're going to break it down, talk about the stats, and we'll have the Truax Sprinting Player of the Game join us. Head coach A.J. Beard will join us. Excited to catch up with those guys and hear a little bit more in depth about today's, I don't want to jinx it, but 8-0 lead. You get the idea.
Went high for a ball, so 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Trent. Carson Little waiting on deck.
Don't forget, the Arrows could walk this one off too, David.
Yeah, it's still a possibility here for a mercy rule situation. 10 runs after 5. Late decision on a high and tight fastball. Another one up and in, but it's popped up and caught at shortstop by Stiegel. Came in right behind the mound there, 1 gone. And here comes Carson Little, who has 2 hits in the ball game, an RBI. Wadsworth coming in on Saturday. And that Sandusky game that was originally scheduled for tomorrow is going to be rescheduled at a later date. As the teams can get that rescheduled, they hope to. So we'll hope to see the Blue Streaks here at one point this season.
For sure. Just plays, wreaks havoc with schedules and some of these teams. There's a base runner in motion as Merrill. He's going to get that bag swiped. But it plays havoc because you got league games you got to get in, right? And, Sandusky's a little over an hour away, and sometimes it rains in Sandusky, but not here. And then you pick a date that's neutral, and then, you got that date. You can play, they can't, and then you're scrambling for a pickup game. It's just welcome to spring in Ohio, folks.
That is the 4th steal of the afternoon for the Ashland Arrows. Little at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. "12 hits in the ball game. That one hit back through the middle. It's off the mound. Takes a big hop, goes into center field. That'll drive in Merrill. That'll make it 9-0. Little with a 3-hit day, 2 RBIs. And it's a baker's dozen in the hit department for the Arrows. Boy, that one was socked right off the mound.
Sure was. That was a bullet. So the Arrows looking for one more. Hubacher at the dish.
Well, all he's done today, Chris, is double and single. Has an RBI, 2 for 3.
They call that a solid day at the office, David.
13 hits, 9 runs in. Throw goes over to first. Little dives back in there.
I'll tell you what, there is now not 2 but 3 acres of open space in right field.
Spurlock playing way off the line. That's over for a strike. Good pitch there. Good velocity from Proctor. Hubacher, the sophomore. Had that double to left, also singled sharply into left field. Just a little bit low with that delivery.
You know, you highlighted Hubacher's days, 2 for 3 of the double and a single. You know, keep in mind he's getting that out of the 7-hole production as Coach A.J. Beer. That is dynamite when you have that happening. And just about every Arrow's got a hit today. You know, Jake Bryant's got a single and scored, and he's sack bunt. He's 1 for 1 in the 9-hole. You know, Carter Nelson not having a great day at the plate. He's 0 for 3. But then you look in the 6th hole with Carson Little. He's 3 for 4 with 3 singles.
Yeah.
I mean, Jiminy Christmas. I mean, you can't get much better production. When you're getting some, you know, lineup turnover down at the bottom of the order, you get back to your horses at the top, man. You can really hang some numbers. And we've seen it today with the Arrows. 9 runs here scored so far.
That one's outside, and that got off the glove of the catcher Parsons and allows Little to move down to second base. Although that was outside, I think that would probably have to go down as a pass ball. Was not in the dirt. And that puts the potential winning run in scoring position with 1 out. Could have a walk-off situation here, Chris.
Be pretty cool for head coach A.J. Beer's home opener.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Hubacher. And he rips one on the ground into right field. Hitting third, Little. He is going to be waved to the plate. Wide turn. He's coming. Throw is cut off. It's 10-0 Ashland. It is a walk-off.
David, I'll tell you, you just script it and you speak it into existence, and it happens, and the Arrows walk it off, 10-0 victory.
Liam Hubacher, the sophomore, a 3-hit game with 2 RBIs, including the game winner in the bottom of the 6th inning, an opposite field ground ball single to right. Little scores, and the handshakes begin at home plate. In the 6th inning for the Arrows, 2 big runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 man was left on base. Your final score, the Arrows 10 and the Rams nothing. We'll be back with the Janney postgame show in just a moment on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network.
Ashland isn't just where we work, it's our home. From glorious country to Main Street parades, we're proud to be part of what makes this town special. At Bill Harris Dealerships, being a key member of the community is one of our core values. But it's more than that. It's a responsibility. Because without Ashland, without you, we wouldn't be here. So stay golden, Ashland. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com.
Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland. Steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
Welcome back to our coverage of Ashland Arrows baseball. It is a final on this beautiful Thursday afternoon, 10-0 Ashland as they run-rule the Rams in the first of two meetings. These teams will turn around and play again tomorrow at Madison, weather permitting. That'll be a 5 o'clock start. The Arrows will be back here on Saturday at 12 noon against Wadsworth. The Arrows postgame show and interviews brought to you by Janney in Mansfield. Financial advice from experienced people you can trust. Check out Rich Story at Janney.com for all of your financial needs. We've got the final totals coming up. We've got interviews coming up, our plays of the game, and we've got a lot of things to get to here on a post-game wrap-up after a very profitable day for the Ashland Arrows. Let's start with our stat recap. The final totals brought to you by your hometown law leader, the law offices of Andrew Bush, located right here in Ashland, Ohio. For the Arrows, 10 runs on 14 hits, 1 error, they left 8. Madison, no runs, 4 hits, 1 error, they stranded 9. Evan DeHinden, the win, he's 1-0. Liam Stone, the loser, he drops to 0-1. Time of the game, 1 hour and 54 minutes. Ashland now 2-0. Madison drops to 1-1. Our winning pitcher, courtesy of Connery Manufacturing, your wastewater equipment leader. Locally owned for over 40 years, Evan DeHinden, the winning pitcher in today's game. We'll be talking to him momentarily. 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 10 Ks, 3 hit batters, but a 10 strikeout performance. Who knows? He may make that his career high for the rest of his career. What a day with the strikeout pitch for Evan DeHinden. He is our Connery Manufacturing winning pitcher. Chris, big hit of the game. We've got a lot to choose from here.
Yeah.
Big land home improvement and property management. Well, you've got a lot of choices here. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I got 2. I've got Liam Hubacher hitting that laser over to left field. That was an absolute bullet. And then Merrill with 2 big land home improvement hits of the day. He had a backside double down the right field line. And then he had an absolute tomahawk down to third, or actually a triple. He hit into left field there as well. So really nice job by Merrill and Hubacher, today's big land home improvement and property maintenance. Say that 3 times fast. Big hits of the day.
All right, you'll get Evan set up here, Chris. Again, big land home improvement and property maintenance located right here in Ashland. Check them out for all of your home and property needs. It's time for our Truax Printing Player of the Game. It's brought to you by Truax Printing, your full-service commercial printing source in Ashland and Loudonville, truaxprinting.com. Evan DeHinden joins us here in the booth. And, Evan, congratulations. Great game for you.
Thank
10
you.
Ks, but really just an overall great effort up and down the lineup in all phases. You had some great catches out there by Brayton Stewart, but just some thoughts on your performance today. What was working for you?
I wasn't really hitting spots like I wanted to, but I think I got some swing and misses and executed that way.
You know, it was a really good day for you. It's 10 strikeouts, you know, for in a varsity game. I think it's your 3rd varsity start. Is that right?
3rd or 4th.
3rd or 4th varsity start, and you go 10 Ks. You give up 2 hits. You know, and I said to David, when you watch this one back, you'll hear me say, I always count hit by pitch and walks. They're the same thing. I don't care if you put them on because you plunk them or you walk them on 4 or 8 pitches. Doesn't matter, right? But I think if you look back at this, you'll say, and you addressed it already, it's the command, right? When you've got a 7, 6, 8-run lead, you want to just pound the strike zone, right? Was that your mentality there later in the game? Was you had that big lead just to pound the strike zone and let these guys have to beat you with their bats?
The whole game, I was just trying to take some off and just put it down in the middle. I've been having a little trouble in these scrimmages, hitting guys, throwing in, so taking stuff off, throwing down the middle.
It's the name of the game. Sometimes you come in and you challenge guys inside, and it gets away from you, right? It rides up and in. And, you know, it looked like a couple guys, you got them up and in, and it just didn't finish with the delivery down and finish off the throw, and then it just kind of rode up on you. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, that was happening.
It happens,
Two-seam, runs up in on them.
That's exactly right. That's why it's a two-seamer. That's why it moves, right? Well, what was the key today for your performance on the mound? Obviously, you've talked a little bit about, you know, taking some off to hit the strike zone, but at what point did you say, all right, man, I kind of feel it today, and I'm just going to go pound the guys?
A lot of preparation. Pre-game bullpen, sleep, mental preparation, stuff like that before the game. Once I get on the mound, I don't really think. I just kind of go at them.
Did you eat your Wheaties today? Did you eat your Wheaties today?
Nah, I had an Arby's fish sandwich.
It's not even Friday.
Nah, I just ate it because I was hungry.
All right, sounds good. So talk about Brayton Stewart. David mentioned it. You know, he had a couple nice catches out there, yeah?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, a couple divers.
Saved me. Yeah.
It's all right. That's what happens. There's 6 guys behind you. Let them, have some effort out there, right? Yeah, well, congratulations. You had a heck of a ball game
Thank
today.
you.
You're today's Truax Printing Player of the Game. And Truax Printing for all your full-service printing needs. You know those guys?
Nope. I do not.
You do now.
I do now.
Congratulations, young man. You're 1-0
Thank
on
you.
the season and then led your team to a victory.
All right, Evan DeHinda joining us as our player of the game, and we'll be getting A.J. Beer mic'd up here momentarily and get some thoughts from the head coach as he will join us as our Janney postgame show continues after this 10-0 Arrows victory over the Madison Rams. AJ, you'll turn right around and play these guys again tomorrow, weather permitting, but I know for now you'll savor a 10-0 win. What a great outing for your first home ball game.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's always good to get the first one. Really proud of our guys and really proud of Evan. Evan really hasn't pitched competitively in a while with his back and everything, and so really proud of him for the effort he gave today.
So when you woke up this morning, I'm sure you knew that your 6, 7, 8, and 9 batters were going to go 7 for 12, right?
I did not. I did not think that. I'm very happy that
Well,
they
that's
did.
what they did.
But yes, I'm very happy that they did. That bottom part of the lineup really produced for us, and proud of everybody. Really just proud of everybody.
And I'm sure you realized after that was going to happen that 6 and 7, Little and Hubacher were going to go 6 for 8.
Didn't think that either.
I know. I'm kind of setting you up, unfortunately. But you bang out 14 hits, and your 6 and 7 hole batters get 6 of them. I mean, it's something we've watched around here for a long time. We haven't moved the lineup over, and that's what happened today. And you can get that production down at the bottom of the lineup, and you got your guys, Tanner Wolf, swinging it really good. I tell you, I'm really high on the head kid. I thought he handled himself really well today. And then you get into 3, 4, 5, and you're like, okay, now we can start making some business happen here and putting the ball in play. And your guys were barreling it up really well today.
Yeah, they were, and from, they've really worked hard. We've kind of changed the approach. We want to take every base we can get, shorten swings up a little bit, try to get barrels on baseballs. And I tell them all the time, I don't care how far you hit it, get on base.
Yep.
Right? Whether it's a hit by pitch or you're just swinging a hot stick, you need to get on base some way, somehow.
Yeah.
I felt we did that pretty well tonight.
Yeah, BA's great. That's batting average, but OBP's better. That's on base percentage. That trumps batting average every day of the week in my book. And I have to say, I don't know if you saw me up here, but I'm giving you a thumbs up about the whole first inning because you called it exactly the way Coach Mowry would have called it. And I don't care if you're at the 3-hole or whatever, your job is to try and get a lead as fast as you can for your starting pitcher. I firmly believe that. That's how I was raised, and that's how I played this game forever. And you went sack, bunt, 2-hole, sack, bunt, 3-hole after a leadoff single. And I thought, okay, this is good. This is setting the tone for your team, and you're letting them know, I don't care what your name is and where you hit in the lineup, you're going to put the ball on the ground because we're going to try to score a run in the first inning and give DeHenden a lead and see where the game goes from there.
Yeah, and in the offseason, obviously with the transition and everything, new program, we really harped to those guys. Guys, if you can't bunt, you can't play. And we work bunting every day. And it was good in scrimmage season. We struggled a little bit putting bunts down, but it was really good to see that our top of the lineup bought into that today. And again, proud of everybody, right? Everybody's contributing tonight. We don't start the game like that. I don't know if the outcome might be a little different. So I'm proud of those guys for their fight and their grit. We get to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what I told David. Everybody in your lineup gets a hit. Carter Nelson's the only guy that doesn't. He was 0 for 3, but he put the ball in play a couple times, so nice job there. But, Jake Bryan at the 9 holes, 1 for 1. He's got a sack. And, all the way through here, Tanner 2 for 4, and Ethan Hagg's 1 for 1. Stewart, was 1 for 4 in a 3-hole, but hit the ball hard. He had a sack, and then he makes a couple tremendous plays out there. And then the other thing I want to highlight, too, you didn't make any errors. You can argue the one down here at third base, but we know that that's the coffin corner down there at third base, that lip. It's still, for whatever reason, it's just got an omen. But other than that, you played a clean game.
Yeah. Well, and, Carter, I was talking to Carter there towards the end and just told him, you got to trust your fundamentals. I said, I know it's coming off hot down there. We call it the Bud Hop, so
yeah.
we know that it's going to be bouncing. You just got to body that up. He's got a big frame. We have confidence in him. So, I was trying to reiterate that to him. We have confidence in him, and we got confidence in everybody, including the bench. So those guys tonight, everybody contributed. Everyone, did their job tonight.
Congratulations, man. I'm really happy for you. You're 1-0 here in the orange and black at Bud Plank Field at Arch Arrows Park. 2-0 now after an 8-7 victory over Columbian. And, you guys got up 6-1 through 2 against Columbian. I thought, my gosh, here we go. And then we do it again today. And then, I had to leave. I got scared off on Saturday because it was freezing cold. And then David, I find out, is up there scoring the game in the press box. I should have went up there and bugged him. But and then I was following along on Game Changer. And I'm like, okay, well, you guys held on, right? Did enough. Right. But today you come out and just lasering the ball all over the field, and it's got to get a good omen for you and your team and your staff to say, hey man, we can keep building on this, right?
Yeah, we can. And every day's a work in progress. We're just trying to get better. There's things that we need to work on still, but for today, we got the job done. I'm proud of everybody. Coach Dew called a tremendous game with Evan, and give him a lot of credit. So proud of everybody. I can't be happier for the way we've started, but again, tomorrow's a new day. We got to do it again.
Well, you're 1-0 on Thursday, and that's all you can ask for. Congratulations. Good job. The Arrows victorious here in a walk-off fashion, David, 10-0 after that 2-run sixth inning.
Yep, can't beat it. We appreciate AJ's comments, and congratulations to him. And boy, what a game we have. One last thing we need to get in here, Chris. Play of the game, built by Bo Lacey Construction. Experience you can trust. Done right on time.
Got two of them for you.
All right.
And guess who the author of both of them is? Brayton Stewart in center field. 2 diving catches. Absolutely fantastic job by him. And, if I always say, and this isn't rocket science because this is common sense, but you got to be strong up the middle, and the Arrows are just that. Hagg's going to play a nice shortstop. Stewart obviously flashed his leather. Yeah. Bryant was able to make a double play there. Fundamentals, and Wolf has stopped some nice balls behind the plate. He calls a good game. He gives those pitchers confidence to throw to. So all in all, the Arrows, job number 1, be strong up the middle, and they demonstrated that here in spades today.
All right. Got 12 total strikeouts for the Arrows as Bolin had 2 in relief. That was a tremendous pitching effort all the way around, as we've heard the guys say here, Chris. But final thoughts on this one?
Yeah, excited. I told AJ Beer, I'm happy for him. He got his first maiden victory here, at Bud Plank Field at Arch Arrows Park in his home opener as head coach. And, that's mission accomplished. And you pitch a donut, with Evan DeHinden. And, the Arrows scatter 4 hits and – really never really tested here after the first frame when they got 3. The second frame they get 3, and you're up 5-0 through 2 innings of play, and you feel like, okay. And then they get another digit in the third, and then kind of hold them at bay. And then DeHendy comes back out in the third and strikes out the side with 3 up, 3 down, and then you really start seeing this team like, okay. And then they come back in and keep putting the barrel on the baseball, and it's not just little dink and dunks, but they're hitting gappers and lasers and whatnot. So if this is the brand of baseball we can expect from this Arrows squad this year, boy, it's going to be a fun season, partner.
All right, well, we'll see you Saturday, Chris. Again, high noon against Wadsworth. Hopefully the Arrows can take care of business tomorrow and be back here on Saturday 3-0.
You got it.
All right, that's going to wrap up our coverage. Special thanks to Brandon Gunder on a job well done at the controls. We thank you for tuning in and following the Arrows with us here on our YouTube channel. Again, our next broadcast is Saturday at noon Eastern Time, the Arrows against the Wadsworth Grizzlies. David Wilson now for Chris Mowry, reminding you again of the final score. It was the Ashland Arrows 10, the Madison Rams nothing. You've been watching Ashland Arrows baseball on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving.